So number one, I don't know if this is really ranked 1 through 10, like in order of importance, but I guess we'll see. Make sure your microphone isn't horrible. That is the number one tip. Make sure your microphone isn't
Is
horrible.
is that the way they wrote it?
Yeah, that's I read it
Oh
straight
my
from that.
god, that's a little rough. Like, I mean,
Well, not only the microphone, which I think the microphone is the most important thing, and you could jump in, Cabalet. Some people don't have the settings correct. I'm still working on getting the settings absolutely 100%. But what do you have to say on the subject, Cabalet? Is that an important thing?
I really agree about the microphone being an important thing because when I first started, I was using, like this headset, this gaming headset on the Xbox where you hear people talking like this. That was kind of awful because when I rewatched like the VODs and everything, people were barely able to hear me. And we got to keep in mind that streaming, this is entertainment big time. So if people don't understand you because your microphone is like making some weird noises all the time, yeah, that's kind of a big deal. At the meantime, I don't think you need to have like very fancy thing either.
I Two things for me. I think whatever, everyone's working with like a different budget, especially if you're first starting. Maybe you have a shitty microphone, but try to test out the microphone and figure out the proper settings so it doesn't sound completely shitty. You don't, like you said, you don't have to have complete high definition surround sound, beautiful microphone audio or whatever, but try to work with it. Maybe that particular microphone does not sound good really close to your mouth, and the gesture that I just made did not look very good. Maybe you should move it farther away from your mouth. Do some testing, record yourself, and see how you sound. Because I know a lot of people actually have good microphones, but they don't sound that good because they don't have the proper settings. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there to help you. And the second thing I was going to say, I actually recommend as like a starter microphone if you're looking to invest a tiny bit of money. Well, not a tiny, but the Blue Yeti microphone. That's the one that you use now, Cabalet. I recommend that microphone. That was my second microphone. And I think it costs about $90 US, but I think it sounds good if you have the proper settings.
I really, really, really like it. And if we were actually on a video about the Blue Yeti, I got a box right there. We could make a beautiful video about it, but I'm gonna try to keep it short. I think it's amazing. You can change the settings depending on what you do. If you do streaming, if you do singing, if you do different stuff. So that's a really cool microphone considering of the price. One thing that I would suggest, I'm somebody that's extremely loud, and that happened that when I'm playing FPS game, I scream a lot. So I think it's not only about the microphone, but that's also about the filter you're gonna add either to OBS or the different like software you can find that will lower your voice if you start to scream. I think that's something very important even I should do.
Yes. Nothing is worse than when they call it peaking on OBS when you go into the red category, and I've done that too, and it's like cringy to hear. It's like, no, my ears. So
Mhm.
that happens to the best of us. Just make sure you're hitting the green or the yellow in OBS. But as for that, I think the microphone is really the most one of the most important things, more so than the webcam, really, because if you don't have proper sound and you don't have any sound, maybe
Hi.
that's a big deal. I think so. I think they're right on that. That is a very important thing. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on number one, but could a person succeed without a microphone at all? I think people could succeed without maybe a webcam, but without a microphone, I mean, is there really a market for people that just want to watch gameplay of a video
There
game?
is.
Or
There is a very well-known streamer, a lady that cannot talk, that actually is huge on Twitch because of the fact that she can talk, but she has an incredible gameplay. But I got to say, it's one
there
maybe
you
in a
go.
million.
Well, I think there are actually members of our community that don't speak at all, and I think you really got to find what works for you. Your niche there, where maybe you don't need your voice, and you're doing something really unique and exciting. So, of course, you could find a way